Again, we're celebrating new music of Violet Breed with the one and only AleX. And we're talking about collaborating with his cohort and partner, Brian Wheat, across the Atlantic. And we've been talking, celebrating his love, of course, for the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and the Stones and Queen and so much great music that infiltrated our side of the Atlantic, but was born, in the UK. And Alex, wow, incredible stuff. We're loving the all the singles that you're doing, but we're celebrating the video for "Stay Away," the incredible collaboration. And you say you filmed that right there in Brian's villa in Italy.
Yeah, so recorded in this room, and then Brian has a house and residency in Italy. So I get on the plane, I go 40 minutes from here to the local airport. He picks me up at Florence Airport. It all sounds very trendy and very flash, but it's not. It's kind
Yeah,
of just
it's
like,
it's down home. Yeah, I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I am Italian as well. So obviously you can see my surname on
Sure.
the Zoom call.
Uh-huh.
So I go over there, he picks me up, and it's about an hour ride, and we hang out, we eat the best food in the world. And then yeah, like we obviously had to do a video, and I said, look, we're not in a room together that often. Let's just, we haven't got the lights, we haven't got the smoke, we haven't got the sort of pyrotechnics to make it like this big production like the other videos, which I'm a
Yeah.
massive fan of, don't get me wrong. But people just want to see us together, and the song is it's very raw, it's honest, it's like I said, it's probably our most sort of darkest and honest song we have released. And I think the video, do you know what I mean? Like it's not filmed in 4K and it's not like got all the lights and the smoke, but what it's got an edge and it's got that sort of lo-fi, sort of indie, old school sort of rock and roll, sort of like an old Paul McCartney and Wings video. Do you know what I mean? Like we're taking it seriously, don't get me wrong, but there's kind of like a bit of fun and just like a bit of like a home kind of schooling craft behind it. And we just did it in his basement. Someone had a camera, filmed us for about half an hour, walked around his villa, and that's the video. And that's how I think it should be done. Do you know what I mean? Not too much thought process, not like a
Well,
big,
yeah. It's not a
not
big
like a,
production. It's about the
yeah,
song and
yeah.
about
But
the spirit of collaboration between you.
yeah, and that's what I really like about that video because it's just like two people just rocking out, singing something that's very meaningful to the both of us. And yeah, I think hopefully it connects with people because there is a meaning behind the song, um, and maybe the video may not translate that, but the video is just there, just kind of as like as an advertising thing and a promotional tool, and I love it. It's been great fun, but I think out of all the songs so far, it's probably my favorite. But what because obviously I'm in the group and I'm in the
Yeah.
collaboration with Brian, but since when we started, when we've this be our fourth song now. It's really cool, like yourself, but as like a music fan, I can now like go, oh wow, like I can listen to our music and I can see like a progression and like a story. Jimmy, it's not just like a single anymore. There's four songs out there where people can really dive in and get to know what this collaboration is about and what the songs are about. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. It's a really great experience, and long may it continue, and
Well,
hopefully
I
get
feel
more
that,
successful.
and I feel kindred spirits with you. Not only our passion and love for these great
Band.
bands, but
Mm.
also it's exciting for me to see this process of you continue to release singles, and our talk about your inspirations and the fact that you're feeding your mind, going to Liverpool and coming to Los
Yeah.
Angeles, and now checking some boxes of things you got to do on your next trip to
Hmm.
California. It's truly exciting. I had the amazing opportunity recently of interviewing Denny Sywell, who was Paul McCartney's first drummer he ever worked
In,
with outside the
yes.
Beatles. And he tells this story. He was a session guy in New York, and
Was that
he
on like, would that be on, was it like, did he play in Ram?
yeah, he played on Ram
Yeah,
and
I
Red
know. I
Rose
think I know.
Speedway and all that.
Yeah, I think I know what you're going to say, but carry on because I want to hear it from you. I want to
Yeah,
hear.
he heard, that there were auditions, or it was this crazy story I'll send you the link. But he gets this call, and Paul McCartney wants to meet him, and he's like, "What? There's like hundreds of incredible drummers here in New York City. Why
Why
me?"
me?
But he walks into this room, and it was kind of like that. Like he goes down this basement, and there's Paul McCartney and Linda, and he said Paul couldn't be more down to earth. It was
Mm.
just to him, you're just trying to subvert any fanboy or exuberance or, Wayne's World, I'm not worthy moments, but Paul is just a normal guy. And what
That's why I
was,
think me and Brian love him so much because like very working class, come from a working class background. Yeah, like just so um whatever normal is, but do you know what I mean normal? Do you know what I mean he's just a very down to earth man, and I love it because I like uh there's like pictures of him at the height of his fame, just riding the underground in London using public transport.
yeah,
And I think that's really cool. Like he's not driving in a limo. He's not like being dropped off. He's just using public transport or getting on the bus to go to do a hard day's work with the Beatles. So that I think that's such. I love hearing Paul's stories. And you've told me to watch this documentary. I have a top tip for you. There's a new book out. It's coming out with this Wings trilogy box set they're doing.
yes.
It's called The Band. I've got quite a lot of Paul books, but it's called The Band and the Run. It's meant to be the most in-depth and collective source of material about Paul McCartney and Wings ever. So it's my birthday next week, and I'm hoping it will be wrapped up for me when I
Well,
wake up
happy
in the morning.
birthday.
Yeah, but I want you to. That's my tip for you. I want you to buy the book if it's out in the
Awesome.
US and read it, because I think you'll find it. That story just told me. I can probably guarantee it's going to be in that book. So I recommend that to you.
Well, Denny recalls the sessions where Paul introduces them to this new song he wrote called Live and Let Die.
Yeah. Oh my
And
God.
living in real time, being a James Bond fan and being a Beatles fan, and hearing that song and then watching the movie Live and Let Die, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Yeah.
And
Bet it's still to this day the best Bond song, isn't it?
oh yeah, and
All the new
the
Bond songs,
movie,
they're
the
really
the and you hear the your song kind of creep in and out, little reprise
yeah.
through the movie,
Yeah. The
Yeah.
allig when he runs across the alligators.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
and and recently as Paul was preparing for this massive tour he's on, doing these 3 hour plus shows in his 80s, he invites Denny down. They have a big like airplane hangar over in Santa Monica where they're rehearsing the stadium show. And he looks over at Denny. He says, "You still remember Live and Let Die?" And
Yeah.
Denny's like, "Hell yeah!" He says, "Come on, get up and play it with us." And Denny said it was just like riding a bike. He hadn't done it with Paul in
Just got on it
years.
and did it.
Just it felt like the first time they played it, you know. And then you see that, on videos of that song, and you see like huge bands like Guns N' Roses, cover it and still can't match the simplicity and the power that Paul had. Nothing against them. They certainly
No, no, no.
try,
Well,
but
when we saw him live last year, you know, there was like the pyrotechnics of like the big fire and the big flame and but all that aside, it's just a bloody great song, isn't it? Do you know what I
oh,
mean? Like how many songs have three sections like that but are still a pop song? Only Sir Paul can do that to you.
yeah, it was just such a great, great story of not only meeting Paul, but being in the band. And I love the fact that when Paul says, "Yeah, we got a new band. It's called Wings, not the Wings or Paul McCartney
Yeah,
and Wings or
just wait.
Wings featuring Paul McCartney." He said, "No, it's just Wings."
I like to think in a weird way, like the Violet Bree's a bit like a wing sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like even though Tesla's still going and selling out stadiums and Vegas residencies, and
Hmm.
I love Tesla. Like they're obviously a huge inspiration to Violet Bree, but Violet Bree's like a little wings project for Brian in some way. I think. Do you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
starting up a new band with with unknown people like myself and Yeah, it is really cool. So that's why I love Wings because I can kind of relate to what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a band following the Beatles, but it's not trying to be the Beatles. It's trying to be its own thing, and that's what makes it so special. So I completely
Yeah,
agree. I love that.
I mean, Paul, with that catalog he had with the Beatles, he refused to cover the Beatles in Wings.
I
He's like, no,
know.
no, we're a band.
I'll just
I,
write more hit. I'll just write more hits.
yeah, I'll just write more, and
Yeah.
Denny recalls. Denny's got a great book out of his times. I would
Oh
suggest getting
wow.
that, and just being around Paul. I always say that the bigger the star, the more humble they are. It's almost
Mm,
it's and it's not every case. Paul has every reason to have airs about him and an attitude and everything. He just doesn't choose to be that. He
no.
doesn't he doesn't live on the laurels of his past.
No.
Every day is a new adventure to him. And I always say the bigger the star, the more humble they are. And in a way, they have nothing to prove. It's everybody on the way up that's clawing and backstabbing and starting beefs and hassles. But when you're at the top, it's just like it's rarefied air. It's like why should I be an asshole to people?
Yeah. No, he is definitely the greatest. Like there's that saying that me and Brian will say on like the eighth day God created Paul McCartney, I think it is, like a little joke.
It's incredible. So yeah, we love the new music and encourage everyone to go support it. Of course, online, and we can't wait for the eventual album that will come. From
Yes.
Violet Breed. But the
Well,
fourth
what?
single, "Stay Away," and my gosh, like you said, you've had great success on those radio charts. Awake reached number 14 on the SMR charts, 28 on Media Base, Activator, 10 Years Sober, 24 on SMR, 36 on Media Base, Endless Days, 18 on SMR charts, 37 on Media Base, Activator. So you've got over 650,000 going on 700,000 views.
Yeah, on
Uh,
YouTube, that's doing quite good.
yep.
Even
And
those things, it's just like it's still like you just got to keep pushing, and
well,
you can't.
I look at it as like bricks in a wall. I always say the Great Wall of China wasn't built with
No, no,
one
and
sweeping motion. It
I
was
think that
literally all those millions of bricks that
I,
formed the wall.
I think the thing that kind of it can become a distraction with for me, this is about me personally, and you see these things where like these instant successes, do you mean like especially if like apps like TikTok where someone will sing a song, it'll be an original song, it will go viral, and then that's it. Do you know what I mean? And then it's just like I know that's
Yeah,
obviously
here
quite a
today, gone tonight.
yeah, I know that's like a rarity, and I like to think with us like we've had some good hits on social media, but like it is like that's a really good way. It's more of a we're earning our stripes and painting the painting rather than just kind of like splurging it all onto a canvas. It's definitely a bit more of a process, and I'm kind of there for that because I want when more people discover it and listen to it and find it on whatever platform or social media thing you're on, you can see there's a progression taking place. It's not just a boom, sort of an instant thing. And I think a lot of that's happening these days. I mean, there's not many people have got a progression anymore. It's always a kind of like an instant thing. So I don't know. It's just a different way of approaching it, I guess, and I'm here for that.
Well, there you should be. And I'm glad with my experience on over 50 years as a promotion man, as a musician before that, and somebody born in America, but, grew up in a sense in England during the British invasion, and lived around the world. I'm so glad that I can share my experiences with you and hopefully
Hmm.
be other bricks in your wall, and
Yeah.
like you're turning me on to things. It's exciting, and I know when you watch that Becoming Led Zeppelin movie, you're
Oh
gonna thank
yeah.
me for pushing you to
Yeah,
do so.
literally after this, I'm gonna do my grocery shop, and then I'm gonna sit down and watch that. So that I will report back to Shauna to let you know that I've watched it, so that you know
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Turn it up. I know it
Yeah,
won't be
I
the
will.
experience of where I sat in the middle of the IMAX theater at Universal Studios, but it's the next best thing. I always tell
Yeah,
people, see it in the best format you can, but at least see it, you
see
know?
it.
Don't say, "Oh,
Okay,
I didn't get to see it in IMAX, so I'm not going to watch it." No, no, no. I don't care if you're watching it on your phone, You
just see
got to
it.
see it, man.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
piece
doing
of
it. I'm doing it
history.
tonight. It's 7:30 here, but I'm doing it. I will do it tonight. I'm gonna stay up
Wow.
doing
Well,
it.
it's always great to talk to you, Alex.
And I
So
really appreciate you having me back. It's been really cool just to chat. It's just
yeah.
nice chatting about music. Do you know what I mean? Like you got such a collective knowledge and historic and all these experiences, and it's nice for me to sit down with someone. And obviously, we can talk about Violet Breed and this and that, but just to talk music. So I love it, and I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Well, we thank you, and this is part of what we're launching here in 26, and that's called Rock Forever World, and it's going to be this
Yeah.
streaming video network. It's going to be, I call it like the Netflix for music, documentaries, and
Oh,
docu-style stuff.
cool.
So, when we launch that, I look forward to having you be a part of that, and just
Yeah.
being able to, what I say, celebrate more of what we love, what we grew up
Yeah.
on, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the classic bands, the classic songs, the tours, and for us that lived this in real time, and we've talked about this, we no longer have those great TV shows that introduced us to the music we grew up on, or the
Mhm.
magazines, or in some cases, the concert halls we used to go to, or the radio stations and the DJs that we listened to. They were like part of our family. And like I say, for the first time hearing Strawberry Fields on my transistor radio, laying on my bed in England, they're moments etched in time, and I still feel so important to celebrate those because younger people like yourself can maybe take something from that. You weren't there
Mhm.
in real time, but you're like,
No,
wow,
I'm
I'm
living it. I'm
inspired
living
by it.
it now my own way. I don't even can see the back wall. Look, you can see all the Beatles stuff
Oh, of
behind me.
course. I see the
Yeah.
Queen. I see everything.
Yeah.
I, and we'll
It's
talk
cool.
more. As I've told you before, I share a birthday with Freddie Mercury. September
Yes.
5th is a celebration not only of my born day, but of Fred. Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury um, is in us every day. And I love when people say, they list like the top frontmen of all time, and of course, Paul McCartney's in there. Of course, John Lennon's in there. But
Hmm.
they always mention Freddie Mercury as one of the greatest frontmen of all
Yeah.
time.
You could give
Um,
me another 5 hours on air, and I could
I
talk to you
know.
about Freddie
Well, we'll
Mercury.
we'll cover that in
Next
future
time. Next
calls.
time.
There we
Yeah. Next
go.
time.
Well, Alex, thanks again. We encourage everyone to go check out Violet Breed. Until our next conversation, please keep rocking forever.
Thank you.